second law of thermodynamics. So this you can even state as the law of efficiency. Right? So the law of efficiency, what it states is, no process is possible. Actually, there are two different statements in it. The first statement is Kelvin-Planck statement. Kelvin-Planck statement. What it states is, you just note down this. Kelvin-Planck statement, no process is possible whose sole result is, no process is possible whose sole result is the absorption of heat from a reservoir from a reservoir and the complete conversion of the heat to the work. And the completion conversion of heat to the work. And this is the first statement. There is another statement. So this is the Celsius statement. And this statement, it also conveys exactly the same thing. No process is possible whose sole result is, no process is possible whose sole result is the transfer of heat from a colder object to a hotter object. The transfer of heat from a colder object to a hotter object. So these are the two statements together actually we call as that is the thermodynamics second law. Now here actually before understanding these statements, I'll just explain there is something called heat engine. And then actually this heat engine and heat pump, refrigerator. Right? All these three things actually operates on this heat system, whatever we are discussing, that is thermodynamic system. Now, here actually, whenever we are talking about any heat engine or heat pump or a reservoir, there will be three essential components. So this is heat reservoir. So heat reservoir at temperature T1, and there is one more heat reservoir at temperature T2. Meaning there are two different places where the temperatures are different. Now actually we take a simple example. So in our rooms, right, we have some ACs, right? So the air conditioners actually, now within the room actually we will be in a cool place. And outside the room actually that will be at a different temperature. Outside the room actually if you notice the temperature is at 45 degrees and the inside the room actually you notice that the temperature is always maintained at 20 degrees centigrade. So this is, let us say, hot reservoir. Let us call this as the hot reservoir, meaning the outside atmosphere. So outside the room actually you are maintaining a temperature of 45 degrees. So this is by nature actually it is maintained, and this is called as a reservoir because actually outside it is always maintained at 45 degrees during that particular time, right? So this is not controlled by anybody else. So this is actually sun is controlling it. Nobody can control this. Now within the room actually we have specified one specific volume, and within that actually we wanted to control our temperature to 20 degrees centigrade, and we always wanted to maintain the 20 degrees centigrade. So this is the colder temperature, let us say this is maintained at 20 degrees centigrade. So this is at 45 degrees centigrade and this is at 20 degrees centigrade. Now in between actually there is something called AC, actually we are keeping it here. So this is AC, right? This can be AC or heat pump or heat engine. Now in all the cases actually the configuration is exactly the same. Now here actually we are doing something so that actually at the room, within the room actually we wanted to maintain 20 degrees centigrade by taking certain action here. That action is nothing but the air conditioner, actually what we are going to do it here. Now if this temperature is at higher degree centigrade, and within this particular room actually this is again actually earlier actually it was at 45 degrees centigrade. Now actually we are removing that heat from there, and then actually we wanted to keep it always 20 degrees centigrade, and that heat actually we need to pump it to the outside world. That means if you notice the heat actually, though it is at 20 degrees centigrade, suppose if it rises by 21 degrees centigrade, to reduce that 1 degree centigrade, the heat is taken from here and then actually we are putting at the higher temperatures. That is, the heat is taken from 21 degrees centigrade and then actually we are giving it to the 45 degrees centigrade. Usually that is not possible, right? Obviously that is not possible. That's exactly what the Celsius statement states. So Celsius statement, what it states is, no process is possible whose sole result is the transfer of heat from a colder reservoir to the hotter reservoir. So this is the Celsius statement. Now that's exactly actually what we wanted to do it here. So otherwise actually if Celsius statement actually it has to be followed, then actually we cannot have the ACs at all. But we are running ACs, right? So for that actually what Celsius stated is, you need to do some external work on it. So you need to supply the work, and that work actually will take the heat from here and then try to push to the hotter reservoir. So it takes the heat from this and then actually it tries to push it. And if it takes a Q1 and then actually it is supplying Q2, where this QT is nothing but Q1 plus W. These two together actually it is supplied. So to extract certain heat and then put it onto the hotter reservoir, you need to do certain external work, and this is nothing but the AC. So in the case of AC, it will be taking the temperature and then actually we are giving it to the hotter reservoir. Now if you take the other way, that is, suppose there is a hotter reservoir here, there is a colder reservoir here, and here actually we have some heat engine. So this heat engine actually, hotter temperature actually is always ready to give the energy because it is having the higher temperature, and the colder reservoir actually is always wanted to take the energy because actually it is at the lower temperature. So the Q1 is supplied here. Now we take the same case. The heat engine is nothing but, let us take actually bike. So bike actually when we are traveling outside, now outside temperature, even though it is at 40 degrees centigrade or 45 degrees centigrade, if you notice within that engine, right? So bike engine, if you notice, it is producing a temperature of more than 100 degrees centigrade, right? So that's why actually the silencer, actually if you put your leg right, automatically actually you feel the very hot, right? Why? Because actually very high level of heat is going to be generated and the temperature is also very high. Hence actually this temperature is the bike engine temperature. So this is bike engine temperature. And then actually this is the surrounding atmosphere temperature. So this is surrounding temperature. Now in this particular process, the heat actually is generated here. Certain portion will be anyway dissipated to the atmosphere, and certain portion of the heat actually is going to be used to generate the work from this. So that work is nothing but the rotating the bike. So the bike wheel is getting rotated just because of the work that it is going to be developed. And this engine is nothing but the heat engine. It takes the heat from a hotter reservoir and then actually it wanted to convert into the completely work. But the surrounding we cannot eliminate it. Hence, actually certain portion of the heat is going to be released to the surroundings itself, right? So that is actually when we heat the stove, right? So you keep the vessel and then put the water on the stove and then actually you try to heat it. Then actually certain portion of the heat is always dissipated to the surroundings or to the atmosphere, and certain portion of the amount of the heat is only used to raise the temperature of the water. So that means actually if you generate a heat of 100 joules, then hardly 40 to 50 joules of the energy is going to be used to raise the temperature of the water, and 50 units of the or 50 joules of the energy is getting wasted to the surroundings, right? So that is the first statement of the second law, which is nothing but the Kelvin-Planck statement. So no process is possible whose sole result is the absorption of the heat from a reservoir, so or actually from a hot reservoir, you can specifically say, and the complete conversion of heat to the work. So here actually there is always a certain portion of the energy is getting wasted to the surrounding. So that is the first statement. These two together we call as the second law, which states that the efficiency cannot be 100%. So in this particular case, if you take it, so here actually Q1 is the heat actually that it is going to be taking from the hotter reservoir, and Q2 is the energy that is released to the surroundings, and work is the actual thing actually what we have developed it. Now, obviously, as per law of conservation of energy, Q1 should be equal to Q2 plus W. That is in the case of heat engine. Now, work, if you want to take it, this is going to be of Q1 minus Q2. And then efficiency is nothing but, efficiency is always like actually how much profit we are getting it. So suppose actually if you spend 100 rupees, then actually how much extra you are getting it. So that is your profit, right? So even here also what we are trying to do it here is, now I have supplied a heat of Q1, then how much is the work I am taking? Because this is no way useful for me. This is completely waste. So after removing this waste is how much I am getting it. That means how much of energy I am able to use effectively. That is nothing but the efficiency. So that efficiency is W is the work taken and Q1 is the heat supplied. So this energy is supplied, this energy is used. Hence actually W by Q1, this is the value of the efficiency. So W by Q1 is nothing but the efficiency, and this is equal to 1 minus Q2 by Q1. This is in the case of any heat engine. So this is for a heat engine, right? So for a heat engine, actually 1 minus Q2 by Q1, this is the efficiency. Usually actually we express in terms of the percentage by multiplying 100, and we say that this is the percentage of the energy that is going to be effectively used. Now in the case of this refrigerator or the heat pump, if you notice, the energy, hotter temperature actually is taking the energy from there, and certain work you are doing it here, and at a colder temperature actually you are taking certain heat. So W plus Q1 is supplied to Q2. Hence actually the work essentially what we are doing it here is W. Now W is equal to Q2 minus Q1. So W is the work actually what we are doing it in this particular case. Now Q1 actually is nothing but actually you wanted to take the heat from this particular room. That is your goal. Your goal is actually you wanted to reduce the temperature of this room because actually you wanted to employ a lower temperature. For that actually you are keeping AC. That means how much is the energy that was taken out is the essential component actually that is there. Hence actually for what work actually how much is the energy I have taken out. That is the way actually you need to look at in the case of refrigerator. So if I do this much of the work or if I supply this much of the work, then how much is the heat energy that is taken out? And that is the efficiency. So this is actually the input and this is actually the output. Hence actually this is called as alpha, not the efficiency. Q1 divided by Q2 minus Q1, or this is 1 by 1 minus Q1 by Q2. And this is the value of alpha. If you notice, this alpha is always greater than 1 and this efficiency is always less than 1, right? So always less than 1. Efficiency is always less than 1. This alpha is always greater than 1. So this is about the heat engine. So do you have a fair idea on this now? Is it understood?